Hello and welcome back. So it's been 2 full weeks. I pretty sure my last video, which I just watched to make sure I did say this, I would post an update after 2 weeks. Not much has happened, but it's worth a fun little update. So this will be a quick one. Don't you fret. So let's get started. Sorry, I'm silhouetted. I am too lazy to get up and close them. Just like I am too lazy to do my hair for you guys. This is what we look like. It's a wash day tomorrow, so we're not washing our hair today, per se. The water quality is really bad here, like in the shower, I mean. So I try not to wash my hair or really even get it wet. But if I swim, which tomorrow's a swimming day, run and swim day, then I'll come in. And speaking of swimming, Robert swam his fourth mile, and it was under 30 minutes. It was 27 minutes. We're so proud. We and him. I'm very proud of him. Considering when we were in Saudi, he was learning to swim a stroke. He could swim, but he couldn't swim a stroke, like a breaststroke, butterfly backstroke, freestyle. He couldn't breathe that way. So he had the face breathe thing. So we're very excited that he can do it now. Yay! He's crushing it. I'm scared he's gonna lap me and beat me, because every time we swim together, I just kind of make it my mission to crush him. So I'm scared he's gonna eventually crush me, and it's the one thing I'm better at him than, so I need to maintain my better than, hence why tomorrow is a swim day. And I ran 4 miles yesterday. Of course, I'm suffering today, and my entire body is why would you do that? But we're inching back up to, I would love to get to at least a half marathon before the heat of the summer, but we'll just see. The air quality's been so bad here recently that we can't really go outside. So, anywho, sorry, I told myself I wasn't gonna yawn, and then once I started thinking about it, I started yawning. So anyway, let's see. So after last time was Valentine's Day. Happy Valentine's Day to all you lovebirds out there. Robert had work, a big work week, so he did not get, we didn't get to do anything for Valentine's Day. So when he got home from work on the 14th, I told him, I've got us reservations at dinner, get dressed, whatever. So we went outside, and then I was I forgot the keys to the car. So I ran back upstairs and rearranged the whole house. And I had been spending all week making these menus that I hand painted the menu items, and I made all these decorations, and I made this sign that says welcome to Bellhart's Cafe. I don't know, I was just trying to be creative, and I was making spaghetti, and I'd kept it a secret from him, and I took too long to go back downstairs because my thought was I'll tell him, I'll run up and get the keys, and then I'll set everything up, the table, everything, and then text him and be I can't find them, and he'd come up and it would be ready. But instead, he's a very helpful person, so he came up a little early, and he was what's going on? You haven't come back downstairs. And I was oh, surprise. So I made this whole big Valentine's Day thing. And then, let's see. After Valentine's Day, our weekends have been pretty laid back. We had to go to Oman this past weekend just for a day, or we actually went Monday, now that I'm saying it. Because I had to get my border, I had to get my visa restamped or whatever. Getting very tired of driving to Oman. I would much prefer to go somewhere. But surprisingly, it is actually easier to leave from Saudi to go fun places. So, let's see. The beginning of this week, last week, Robert was in Saudi for Monday, Tuesday. He left Sunday afternoon, and he went to Saudi, saw our friends, did work, whatever. I actually stayed here because why would I go back there? And I stayed here with my friend Massa. She and I went and got banana pudding from this place called Magnolia Bakery and Cafe in the mall. Magnolia, very southern plant, and banana pudding is what they're known for, which I feel is a very southern dessert. It's delicious. I've gone back 3 times. The guy knows me. He'll be hi, welcome back, miss. More banana pudding. And I'm this is embarrassing, but yes. It's so good. It doesn't compare to Mama's banana pudding, obviously, because it has bananas in it, and Mama's doesn't because she's a queen. But it's very good. So I made Robert go a couple times because I'm we are eating this pudding. It is so good. And then, let's see. So banana pudding. Robert comes back. We had a pretty chill week. We did go to brunch this past weekend, so on Saturday, with Massa and her husband Trevor, and it was good. It was very loud. It was at a Pizza Express, which is kind of like a CC's, but not really. And it was like a 4-hour vibe kind of thing. So we went at like 1, left at 4. So it was really like 3.5 hours. And they had a live music, like this girl and this guitar player, and they were really good, but they were really loud. Like, poor Robert couldn't hear anything. I was just kind of smiling and nodding for a part of it. And someone would say something, and we'd say, what? We'd say, sorry, what? And we're like screaming at each other to try to figure out what we're saying. But their playlist was fire. Like, she sang Mr. Brightside, she sang Lady Gaga, she sang Single Ladies. It was a blast. And of course, Massa and I are like, jiving to every single song. And Robert and Trevor are like, oh my God, this is exhausting. It was great. The food was okay, but the company was better. I wish it was a skosh quieter, just a skosh. Let's see, what else? We are still planning our trips that we have coming up. So I'm trying to convince Robert there's a midsummer party in like mid-June, maybe late June. That's in England for like the summer solstice or something. I don't know. I don't remember. But I'm very excited. Whatever it's for, it looks fun. And you dress up in costumes and you stargaze. It's basically a Renaissance festival that goes into the night to like celebrate summer. I don't know. I really want to go. And it's in England. So I'm like, okay, well, it's summertime. It's the UK. We can like take a road trip up to Glasgow, see our friends, or like up to Dunkeld near Perth, see our friends. I'm pitching it hardcore. But I also want to go somewhere in March because I'm bored, so I have to kind of probably pick and choose where we go. Robert really wants to climb Kilimanjaro in June too, so I think I will probably get nixed on my midsummer idea, but oh well, what can you do? Anywho, let's see, we went and saw Phantom of the Opera last night. No, 2 nights ago, Tuesday night, and it was good. In my mind, Christine Daae, the main female character, she's brown hair. When I saw it in London, she had brown hair. The movie, she had brown hair. It was like thick and beautiful curls. And to me, it's easier to make brown hair look like real hair than a wig. Like, it's obviously going to be a wig because it's like luscious and brown. But the one in Dubai Opera House was a blonde. And blonde wigs, to me, it's a wig. Like, it's very clearly a wig. So you kind of lose the ability to fully like commit because it's very obviously not real hair. And it washed her out. I was so far away. I was in the nosebleeds. I was so far away that it just kind of washed her out. She was just like one big pale blob. And she wore a lot of pale colors, so she was just a big blob of white. Just a big white blob. But it was incredible. I mean, obviously the music was incredible. I was singing the entire time, and Robert kept like glancing over to me, and people to his left apparently were like chuckling and like whispering about me during intermission because I was like committed. I wasn't just like humming the songs. I'm like committed to what is happening on the screen. Can you imagine? And I'm trying to limit my motion so I don't startle the Russian couple next to us and the family behind us. But it was very nice. And the set design, I don't know who designed it. Whoever you are, snaps, applause, so incredible. It was, every time they changed the set, Robert and I were like, how did they do that? What? At one point I was like, are you seeing this? Are you seeing this? What? Incredible. So my mouth open. Jaw to the floor. That is how good it was. So that's pretty much what we've been doing. We are doing a staycation this weekend with Massa and Trevor. Oh, I scratched myself. So I think we're going to do an escape room. Massa and I are going to go do some art tomorrow. There's like a cafe where they give you like paper cups and you can paint your paper cup. And so we're going to go. Oh, and I met another writer. Her name is Robin. I don't know what her last name is because in my phone she is Robin the Writer. And so we've met up twice. And we're being writing buddies. So we're going to get together once a week and just sit down and write and bounce ideas off of each other. She helped walk me through my magnet piece idea because I changed, not that you guys know what any of this means, but I changed my magnet piece. Carter, actually, if she ever watched this, she would know. And my mom, maybe. But, Carter definitely knows because poor Carter's had to read. Carter Lamont gets a shout-out of, the year already. This poor girl has read everything I've sent her direction and given, very detailed responses. One morning, we talked on the phone for, an hour and a half because I was like, tell me your thoughts. And the poor girl just got roped into this whole thing. So, honestly, I should give her a shout-out, in the book because it is thanks to her that this book is even anywhere near close to publishing. So shout out to Carter Lamont. Woo, go Carter. But Robin was helping me with my magnet piece. I'm helping her tease out some things. She's Dutch. Her husband's Syrian. They live in Dubai, and she's writing a book that's like a young adult mystery novel set in Vermont, like America. And I'm going, I don't know anything about Vermont. Do you? And she's like, no. I'm like, oh, okay, well. She's like, I'm having to Google, like, because it's like about like there's police involved and like protocols. And I'm like, girl, I don't know. I think it's state by state. Like, I don't. And she's like, well, what age are you, an adult? And I was like, 18. She was like, oh, so you can't be like, you're still like a minor in like the court system. I'm like, yeah, unless you commit a violent crime. Like, I don't really know what Vermont's laws are. Like, I don't even know what South Carolina's laws are. I never committed a crime per se. So like, I've never committed a crime to my knowledge. Like, I was like, I don't really know the judicial system, the criminal justice system. Sorry. But it's funny because she's like having to do hardcore research. And she's like, did you have to research for yours? I'm like, no, girl, I made it all up. This is all inside knowledge. Like, that's all. Even like everything is just right from this noggin. But speaking of my book, it's with the editor. It should be done in, let's see, today's the 29th. So 14 days. So we've still got about 2 weeks. So the 13th of March is when the editor is supposed to be finished. I'm going in behind her and like editing. So like it's on a Google Doc. You old people or people who are technologically disadvantaged, you won't understand. But it's a Google Doc. So she's like making all these edits and I can go in and edit behind her. So my goal each morning is to wake up and what I call catch my editor. So like that's the first thing on my to-do list is catch the editor. And then I can start doing whatever else I need to do. So I'm catching the editor. I've got her today already. Because she's in America, so she'll do America time, and then when I wake up, she's finished, so I'll catch her, and then by the time I go to bed, she's doing it again. So I catch the editor every morning, and we're turning through it, but she is also leaving like little notes, like little tidbit notes of like, love this, or oh my gosh, no way, or oh my, I'm startled, like do like a sound. I don't know how she spelled it, and I'm loving it. It's giving me a lot of confidence that there's someone out there reading it who's reacting like, whoa, didn't know this, didn't see this coming, surprise twist. So I'm very excited. Thank you to everyone who voted. If you saw it on my Facebook or my email or my text or whatever, thank you for voting on the cover. The cover has been chosen. I'm going to put it at the end of this video, and I'm going to release it on my Instagram and my Facebook. Well, the author Instagram and Facebook coming up as like a funny announcement type thing. So I'm very excited. I'm working on getting a newsletter out there for people to subscribe to. Apparently, I am technologically disadvantaged. Like, I have no idea. I don't understand anything. I'm like having to watch YouTube videos. I need someone to walk me through it. Like, I am struggling. So wish me luck on that one. But then after the editor on the 13th, we'll be done, and I'll send it to production. And since I already have a cover, all they have to do is just format it, and then we get it on Amazon. So I'm excited. My goal, our projected goal, we're thinking late April, early May. So I'm hoping by the time I come to America, I can come with a physical copy and say, here is my book. Everyone love it and enjoy it. And I'm going to try to get it into Barnes & Noble and Target in Columbia as well, and some bookstores here in Dubai, just because a physical copy feels good. You know, I'm all about a physical copy. I'm reading a book on my iPad right now for a girl. I'm like reading it to write a review for her, and it's really good. You should read it. It's if you like fantasy, it's called Long Live and then Forever Reign. Very nice. It's a young adult, nothing too spicy. I don't know if it's young adult. I haven't read this. I'm reading the second one now, but I read the first one. It's very good. It's very different than like fairies and stuff. It's like it's all about like elementals and it's good. It's nice. I'm very invested at this point, so I have to know what happens in the book. So I go and sit on the bike for like 45 minutes, just read. So that's my book recommendation today. Let's see, what else? That's pretty much it. Working on editing, getting it into production, working on my book. That's my days. Those are my days. As you can see, our laundry. You see my sports bras of varying colors, Robert's underwear, my socks, my hot pink socks. So that's pretty much us. We're getting excited to come into America in April/May for Robert. We're getting excited for Eliza to graduate. What a grown-up. We're excited to hug family. Still planning our Bali trip for April. Hopefully going somewhere in March. Like tomorrow, March. Not like tomorrow, but March meaning tomorrow. I would love to go to Europe. We might go to Oman and just camp, but what can you do? So yeah, that's us. I think that's all my updates. I will update you guys, I guess, in 2 weeks, which will be when it's time to throw the book into production, I suppose. So that's everything. Peace out. See you later. And toodaloo. I knew I forgot something. I was looking at the pictures and I was like, I really feel like we did something last weekend and I forgot what it was. We went and Robert scubaed and I snorkeled because it was very cold. And I only snorkeled for like 30 minutes. They scubaed for like an hour. And so I'm snorkeling above them. We see a giant stingray. And I'm like, oh, you know, I'm freaking out because they're not that deep. I think they're like 8 feet deep. So I'm like touching the tops of some of their head when they're swimming by. And I'm in a wetsuit. I'm literally swimming like this because I'm so cold. And I'm looking, we're in the Gulf of Oman or something like that. I don't know. I showed Dad, so talk to Dad. Dad knows where it was. I like zoomed in on the map for him. We zoomed in together so he could see where we were. And I'm swimming around or whatever, and I was like, all right, like, I'm going back, like, I'm cold. So I'm swimming, and the guy had told me before, like, okay, our guide, he's great, Hassan, I think. He was like, don't, like, be careful, because I don't know where I am. I just know I'm going to the beach, because we swam in from the beach. And he was like, just be careful, there's rocks, don't get stuck on top of them, there's sea urchins and whatever. And I was like, yeah, obviously. So I'm swimming, and then, of course, all of a sudden I end up on top of the rocks, and I was like, oh, what do I do? And I'm, like, looking around, making sure I don't hit an urchin, panicking, as you're not supposed to do, of course, when you're in a body of water, you know, very shallow on rocks. And I look up, and I kid you not, like an arm's length away from me is a sea turtle, like just munching on whatever sea turtles munch on. It wasn't a jellyfish. And I was like, you know, bubbled, because I was like, oh my God, a sea turtle. And it kind of looked at me like, what are you doing in my living room? And I kind of looked at it like, I don't want to be here either. Like, I'm really sorry for barging in. And then it like looked around. So I looked around and there was 5 more. I was with 6 sea turtles just floating around. They're having like the time of their life. And I'm over here like, oh, I'm on the rocks. So I freak out and I'm like backpedaling. I kind of follow one and then I like get away from the rocks. So I swim back and then I was like, okay, this is silly. That's a sea turtle. Like, I should go back. So I'm like, I would rather get crushed on the rocks than not get to see the sea turtle. So I swam back. I didn't go on top of the rocks, but I swam near them. And the water was really murky. So like I could see the rocks, obviously. But anything that was the slightest color closer to sand than rock, it was gone. And so all of a sudden I like see like the water move and there's a sea turtle like right there again and it's swimming and I'm swimming with it. And I'm like, oh, this is the greatest day of my life. And it's like huge and beautiful. And now I'm obsessed with sea turtles. It was gorgeous. And then I saw it like come up for air and I was like, oh my God, I'm in love. And of course I felt bad because I'm like, Robert and them are like not going to see these turtles. And so when they came off the beach, I was like, y'all will not believe this. And they're like, we're so sorry. Like, we did see a turtle. Like, I wish you could have been there. I was like, you saw 1? I saw 6. I saw 6. Technically, maybe even 7. And they were like, what? I was like, yeah, I know. I was like screaming underwater. And I tried to tell this Russian guy because he was like snorkeling and he like bumped into me and I like kind of bumped into him. So I was like trying to point. He was like all angry and I was like, whatever. And when I got out of the water, I was like, there's a sea turtle over there if you wanted to see it. And he started like, I would say angry because his face looked angry. I don't know what the words were because they were in Russian. And I was like, sorry, I don't speak Russian. And he was like, no, English. And I was like, okay, well, there's a sea turtle. Like, I was like, turtle, sea turtle. And he was like he was very upset. And I was like, all right, I'm just going to go. Like, you seem upset about a lot more than just missing out on whatever I'm motioning to. So I was like, okay, bye. But it was lovely. And then we ate lunch on top of this thing. And the eggs, like, we were on top of this mountain. The eggs were so good and fluffy. And then we had like a sandwich, and the sandwich was like, my burger was like paper thin, disgusting. Robert's sandwich didn't say it was going to be spicy, but he was pouring sweat, like had to drink milk afterwards. Not the point though. I saw sea turtles, people. I'm like determined to save the turtles now. Like, don't catch me with a real straw. Only paper straws over here for this girl. Save them turtles. Anyway, so yeah, I had forgotten that we saw a sea turtle, and that is all.
Voices touching in the chest, and now cheating's up her down.